So what we're going to do in this class is we're going to cover some Bujo basics, and I'm going to start layering the different principles that you can use to start bullet journaling throughout this class. I'm not going to cover everything. I'm going to cover enough so that you guys can get started, and it's going to layer on top of each other. So the idea is to log your daily tasks, notes, and events. This is called rapid logging. The idea is to keep it clear and brief. Daily logging. You remember more than you think. So if you write something short, because you wrote it, your brain associates that experience or that idea with what you wrote. So when you read it again, your brain's like, oh yeah, remember that. So you don't need to write a whole bunch of stuff. Now, you start off by dating a page. The simplest way is to say day, month, and the day, or date, month, and the day. Sometimes people like to put month at the start, depending on where in the world you are. So this would be like the 16th of the 9th, which is September, and it's a Monday. And instead of writing Monday or MON, it's just MO. Because I think, yeah, every single day of the week is unique then. And then I like to do this because then we get to see what I'm thinking when I was thinking it. The next thing that we need to do is start adding tasks. Tasks are things that people need to do all the time, no matter who you are. Like if you're a mom at home, if you're a designer, a web developer, a lawyer, an architect, a student, like whoever, you have things that you want to do in your day. And increasingly we have more and more and more things. So the idea is to write it down quickly and when you think of it. Don't keep it in your brain, put it on the paper. So, tasks. We signify a task with a dot, not a square. Dots are far more elegant and they take far less time to draw. When I came across this, I was like, I'm in for Bujo. This is pretty much what sold me. I was like, yes, this is it. I'm going to save so much time with dots instead of little boxes. And whew, it was good. It looks elegant. You can also do master tasks and subtasks. So under design TapTapKaboom logo, there are 3 other tasks. You can just move them to the right. I've got a dotted grid journal here, but I have tried plain paper. I have tried line paper. You should use whatever you feel comfortable with. I like a grid of dots because it means it's semi-structured. I can also doodle in it. It becomes very flexible. The next things are notes, and these are signified by a dash and then a note. A note is not actionable. It didn't happen. It's just an idea or a thought or a fact or an observation. The next one is an event. I prefer to name it an experience, but in the Bujo community, it's called an event. And this is signified by a circle. So something happens to you, or it's an experience, or there's an event. So the other day I saw wasps fighting on the lunch table. That happened. Johnny called. Oh yeah, so under Johnny called, it could be he's moving to Portugal, or he's got an art show in November. Cool. You don't need to add a whole bunch of detail for events, unless you want to. You don't need to say drank water. Water was delicious. You just put down what you find meaningful. Then there's a strikeout. If you've got a task and you're I don't want to do this anymore, or it's unnecessary, just strike it out. You don't do this with done tasks. With a done task, you actually put an X through it. You can see here, there's an X through send invoice to Adobe. You can still see what you've done, but you can see that you've done it. All right. The next thing is long form journaling. If you want to, you just write a title and then you just long form journal, much like you would if you were really journaling. The next one is that when you're rapid logging, you're not really going to be oh, let's do all the to-dos first, then let's do all the notes, then let's do all the events. You're just going to go through it as things pop into your brain. So a lot of the time I'll do a bunch of to-dos or tasks first, and then throughout the day I'll add to that with events or experiences, notes, and then further to-dos. So this is rapid logging. This is more what it looks like. So basically we've got these symbols. You've got a dot that's crossed out, a dash, and a circle. But signifying content is not all that Bujo is. It gets more useful when the next day begins. And this is where I get super passionate about Bujo. So, what tasks did you not complete? And you can see here, the ones that we didn't cross off. So although I crossed 3 items under Design TapTapKaboom logo, I still haven't finished that logo. So that plus the Doodle Bills project, sketching ideas for that, and judging the art entries, I haven't done those. So I'm going to strike out the unnecessary tasks. I actually don't want to do that project, so I'm going to strike it out. And then I signify tasks that you want to move to the next day with a less than symbol. So judge art entries, want to move that to the next day. Design TapTapKaboom logo, I'm moving that to the next day too. And here, you don't need to know where it's gone. You just need to know that you have moved it on. And on the 17th, which is the next day, you write it again. So I write judge art entries and design TapTapKaboom logo. I've got go vector as a task under there too. All right, that's kind of what it looks like without the red underlines. This process is called migration. It is the biggest part of bullet journaling. I think it's the most, the fundamental part of it. It's why I find that it works. You become aware of what you're doing and what you're not doing. You start asking what's important and what's not. There's this friction about it. You have to rewrite stuff that you don't do. You have to deal with the stuff that you don't finish, which I find is just amazing. So when you start writing the same thing day in and day out, you begin to ask yourself why. There's friction, there's frustration. It doesn't sound like journaling though, still does it, but you'll see why it's journaling later on. So what I suggest now is getting used to these basics on a daily basis to get used to bullet journaling. And then once you're comfortable with the basics, you can extend it. So what I want you to do now is just take like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, get a journal, and just take 2 minutes now just to practice this. Write the date, and it can be for your current day if it's like early in the morning, or it can be for tomorrow if it's late at night. Write down things that you need to do. Write down any events that have happened or experiences that have happened or experiences that you expect to happen. Like you're gonna have a call with your mom. Write that down. If you've got any thoughts right now, write that down. Like, Rich is amazing. Bullet journaling is captivating my mind. How is Rich doing this? Like, what software is he using? Like, anything that's popping in your mind, just write that down. If you don't have a book, just put it on paper right now. Don't do it digitally. Just go for paper.